I hit record.
Okay. Reading the ingredients list on this.
I love those.
Not bad. Again,
Ohio.
it's like how you say hello in Japanese. It's Ohio. Informally.
Is it really?
Yeah, the informal word, Japanese word for hello is Ohio.
Ohio. Is
like Ohio, like the state.
Huh. Do you think that's related? Do you think like that's what that means?
I can't see where it's made.
I don't know.
Venice, California. So no, probably not.
Closer to Japan than I am.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
I really do like those. The social tonic. I think it's kind of it's a new thing. People don't want to drink, but they still want to get drunk.
Well, have you had? Yeah.
It's like everyone is starting to realize, I guess, that alcohol is poison. Does it sound in your headphones? Does it sound like my voice is like talking in a toilet?
No,
It's very, very unpleasant for me in my headphones. I really don't like it.
I don't think it sounds like that.
Well, it was
Of course, I've never heard somebody talk into a toilet before, so it's
really echoey. Maybe it's too much volume. Maybe not enough. I don't know. I don't know.
Go back a little bit.
Well, this is my headphone volume.
Whatever you did sounded different. So
How about now? Sound the same? Different?
about the same.
I get in my head. Especially when, like, the second you hit record,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not perfect.
Yeah, it won't be.
Okay, so we were just talking about social tonics.
Yes.
Yeah, people want to get drunk without actually drinking the poison that's alcohol.
Do you have a name for the podcast yet? Is there a name?
I kind of do. I haven't really talked about it with anybody. I don't know.
Just give me an intro.
An intro to the podcast? I recorded, it was like a 7-minute video where I was playing with this, and it was kind of an intro, I guess. It was just me talking, monologuing. The idea of the podcast is kind of just an extension of my own personal journal. And the concept of uploading it is kind of like a practice in being vulnerable publicly, maybe. Just kind of making something and then putting it out there for everyone to judge is something that I used to post on social media a lot, and I think I used to post for a lot of the wrong reasons, like intentionally posting to get likes. And with this, I think I kind of want to practice anchoring myself in doing what is fun for me and what I want to do, and then making sure whatever it is that I post is what I want, and it's not for anybody in particular, right? I'm not making a post for an audience. I'm not making it for likes. And it's so hard for me to or I guess it's easy for me to lose sight of that. Like if I'm recording something, like the second I hit record, I'm thinking like, oh, are people going to like this? Is this what topics am I going to talk about? Like it's not about that, and it's hard to remind myself of that.
There's a comedian that talks about like
you're going to have to
just get closer.
maybe that up a little bit. It's got to be kind of like right in front of your mouth. Oh, you don't have enough there. Maybe that's.
Is that better?
I think so.
Okay. There's a comedian that talks about something kind of like that, and it's called climbing the cringe mountain.
Yeah.
And like once you get to the top of the cringe mountain, you're like, oh, wasn't so bad. But I mean, I kind of feel that way whenever I do real estate stuff. When I make a dumb video and I post it, like the video just showed you, like there's people that's gonna look at that and like that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But like, it's not really for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I'm always curious about. It's like I worry about being judged.
Yeah.
Right? Based upon this thing that I made. And then I question, then it just goes deep. I question, why did I make it in the first place? Like, why am I doing this right here, right now? It kind of combines some hobbies of mine, like with video editing and cameras and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's always kind of been a hobby. But like, I'm afraid that people aren't going to enjoy my own hobby.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. The idea is that it's going to be an extension of my own journal, me talking with my friends, having a good time, recording it for nobody in particular except the people that might be interested in it just by default.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm talking about what you like to hear, that's great. But I think that there's some value in having a record of yourself that's more than just like a census record.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess with Facebook and stuff, we're kind of already doing that. Miles is going to be able to show his kids your Facebook profile post unless you delete it or something. Like, it's probably still going to be there. But a long format conversation where you get to talk about stuff and expand on ideas and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to come by these days for our ancestors. So, and it's never going to happen unless you make it. See the auto switch there?
Yeah.
So it should switch to you if you talk. But you have to say something.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
You just pick some words.
Some
more words.
Some more words.
Louder words?
Yeah, so I don't... Oh, there it is.
Nailed it.
The auto switch.
I tell Miles if he doesn't know to play this game, I'll play my controller.
Well, he doesn't know how to play it, bud. He's learning.
Jump, Miles. Press the jump button. We don't play a lot of video games.
We should probably play less video games, but part of me is kind of proud when I see him do well in a video game.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of a complex thing. Like, you watch his hands going, and it's just such a little age. It's cute. But once he turns into a teenager and he's a monster, it's probably going to be more annoying than it is cute. So
unless he becomes like a professional at video games, if we have those by then.
I think, well, we have him now.
Well, I mean, if that is still...
It's still not switching to
No.
you, is it?
No, it's not.
I think there's a voice. There's like there's a thing called a noise gate that I think is preventing.
Am I not opening the noise gate?
I think so.
I just opened the noise gate, I feel like.
Yeah.
Unless
Speak
you
up. Speak up,
Yay,
champ.
yay. Speak up. That's a frog.
The audio mixer. So I can adjust your microphone from here, which I don't like having the laptop right here on the table. I think it takes me out of this. But we're still learning. So I should be able to kick up maybe turn down a little bit of this on you. Let's kill the punch. Kill the punch. There's 3 things that I can do to adjust the basic audio. I have 3 categories: depth, sparkle, and punch. And for you, I've decreased the punch.
Maybe up the sparkle? I don't know if that's going to help anything.
Give you a little more sparkle. Oh, fudge. I was decreasing my own punch. What an idiot. Your punch is down. More sparkle for you.
Did that change anything?
I have no idea. Whatever.
I think it sounds fine. It just with the auto switch is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I think I just need to use my inside or my outside voice inside.
Yeah, maybe you have to talk a little bit more. Maybe your headphones are too loud. Maybe I could decrease your headphones so you feel like you have to talk more. Talk louder to hear yourself, maybe?
I mean, I can't hear myself at all right now.
You can't hear yourself at all?
I cannot hear myself at all.
You got no headphone?
No. Where's my snare?
Do you have any more snare?
That's very loud now.
But I don't hear you in my...
Wow, that is very loud for both of us. Wow.
All right, is that better? Is this a little better?
You feel really loud. I think mine's better. Yeah,
a little bit better on my end. I just get this weird echoey feeling. Maybe it's the headphones. Maybe
it definitely could be the headphones.
We're gonna see in post, and it's not switching.
No, It just switched to me. It's
Will
on.
you switch to me? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Will you switch
Alright.
back to me?
Camera switch. Nice. And then wide angle.
Will it?
No, I have to return on the auto.
Oh.
So I can't figure out the best way. So these cameras are triggered based on microphone level. You speak, triggers a switch. I can set that camera to pick up on a microphone level, but I don't know how to make it like occur naturally. Like I want
Every so often, like on you, on me.
Yeah.
Wide angle. Yeah.
I want a wide angle cut every now and again to break the
It's a lot of me on camera.
well, I got a little more me now. And I can adjust the speed at which it switches to. Like I think I've got it set to like relaxed.
Now it's time to play the Astros play set.
You do? Or is Henry just telling you what you want?
You want to play the play set one?
Yeah, go ahead. Send it. Send it.
Where is? I'm still waiting on that contract to come through. It's not.
That picked up very naturally on you. I mean, it
Did
switched back to me, but
Good.
that was good. So I'm actually pretty satisfied with this box. This is an AV box. It does everything, cameras and audio. I think it has a heck of a lot more audio settings and fancy stuff that the other box did not have.
Mhm.
When I watched the first recording I made with the new box, Henry would be like right next to me talking, and none of that came through.
Yeah.
On the final recording, I was like, wow. The old box, everything was bleeding through. It was really echoey, and it was quite a bit cheaper, but I was just surprised that this box did that well.
So it was cheaper quality because it was cheaper.
Yeah, well, I think it had a different purpose. Like this is kind of this is like 3 or 4 levels up in terms of quality and what it can do.
Got it.
But there really is not I couldn't have found a box that was just 2 levels above.
Right.
There was no middle
These are going to
ground.
be like this is what you have or like elite.
It's like if you want this is the only option. There's one other box I think that can do kind of what this does, but not nearly as easily.
I see.
The Rodecaster Video S.
Is that kinda like the Roadrunner Audio 4?
I don't know. You see? Can you see the
I was.
the O?
I
Do
was
you- they're Australian.
Oh.
Do you know what that O is? The O with the mark through it.
It's like Norwegian, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I've seen it before, but all their branding has that hash through the O. I don't know what that is.
There was I know I see a lot of soccer players with that sort of. Let's see if there's a line through it. That is the Danish or Norwegian. It's like U in French in blue or I in bird.
I in bird.
Pronunciation similar to the EU or German with the O with the dots.
Like umlauts. I think that's what the Germans. It's called an umlaut.
Is that like a summa umlaut when you graduate?
Summa cum laude. Magna cum laude. Oh, you're playing Wacko Taco. That's a boss. You got smashed.
Why does the squid have snorkel gear?
I don't even have a witty response for that. I didn't even notice that. I played this a bunch of times. Never occurred to me that he's got us. Well, maybe it's the opposite because his head is out of water. Maybe it's the exact opposite of what we would use a snorkel for. Maybe he's keeping some water up in his gills. I don't know.
This is very interesting.
Astrobot is a very fun game.
That's an urchin.
Oh man, I got a burp. I don't have an easy mute button. I need a burp button.
Burp button. It's actually called a cough button.
Depends who's using it.
The camera, the micro.
So I turned the screen off so I wouldn't be as distracted with
Okay.
it. I'm just gonna let this thing ride.
All right.
Hopefully we get a show.
Let's see what happens. All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Intro to the show.
Intro to the show. Okay, so the name.
That's we got off
The name that I thought was Imposter Syndrome with Jake Rathbun.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And it's kind of
There's some onions in there.
yeah, it's peelable. The name in and of itself is kind of an icebreaker.
Mhm.
It's just like, welcome to Imposter Syndrome. What the heck does that mean?
Yeah.
You know? And it's just kind of like, from what I understand about the term imposter syndrome, I don't think it's like an actual clinical diagnosis. I think it's more of a set of behavioral patterns that people fall into, where somebody, despite having a lot of evidence to suggest that they belong, whether it be medical degrees, training, it could be certificates or tenure within a group or whatever, a lot of actual evidence that somebody belongs within a group, they still have this overwhelming feeling that they don't belong.
Yeah.
And that people don't accept them,
Mhm.
or this fear of being rejected. And, you know, when I read about that, like I've felt that in a lot of areas of my life for a very long time.
Mhm.
And even the entire thing, like I feel like I'm pretending to be a podcaster. Like I'm not a podcaster. I'm just some dude who's got too much disposable income and invested an obnoxious amount of his disposable income on this silly thing. Like the second I upgraded to this box, I was obsessing over it, right? Watching all these YouTube videos, figuring out exactly what I wanted. And I was like, that is going to be neat. I want that. I get it in here and I get things plugged in and I see this mess of plugs.
Mhm.
And the first thought I had was like, somebody is going to be annoyed with this. Somebody's going to be like, this dude just went overboard. Like immediately thought like the impression this is going to give off is that this guy is like a poser.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
And it's just like immediately switched the second I got it plugged in. I was like,
There are
oh no, what are people going to
There
think?
are a lot of plugs.
There's a lot of plugs. Yeah, there's a lot of crap. It's like a bunch of stuff I had to figure out. It was fun for me to figure all this stuff out. But
Isn't that life though? There's a bunch of stuff you've got to figure out, and no one really tells you. Well, somebody may tell you, "Hey, this is how you do this," but until you get experience, like I don't know. I have a audio video degree. I don't know what half that stuff is.
you know what half of it is.
I probably don't. I have dumped so much information from that time out of my brain.
You're my age, and you've dealt with video games and computers. Like you know it. Like USB thumb drive, HDMI cables. You've dealt with that before. Like these were new to me. The XLR cables is a microphone specific cable, or it's a musical instrument.
It's coming back to me.
It's a music industry thing that I wasn't really
Yeah.
into. Like super common, basic stuff. I think that I didn't know, so I learned that. And then making all of it work, I had to read the manual and watch YouTube videos. But yeah, the second I saw it in here, all plugged up, I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna invite somebody over here, and they're just gonna be like, what does this loser think he's doing? Right? Yeah, imposter syndrome. Me just pretending to run a podcast and trying to figure myself out, I guess. What do you think? Is it lame?
No, I like the name. I feel,
I'm not supposed to care what you think.
but you care what I think.
I do.
No,
Got
the imposter syndrome thing. I mean, it's a good name for a title. It's a good title for a show like this because, well, really everyone has their own perception of who they are. Whether their perception or their reality is doesn't really matter. So I perceive myself some way. You perceive me a different way. Joe Blow down the street. He's in the middle of a level. Maybe you can try the next one. Okay. You gotta take turns.
Parenting break. We're gonna take a quick. This podcast is brought to you by Parenting.
There is no manual. Oh.
You're still in a boss battle?
Yeah. It's wacko taco.
All right, if you don't make it through this boss battle, I want you to quit out and let him play something, okay? We're going to practice sharing. So, had you heard of imposter syndrome before I mentioned it?
Yeah, I've it's been a while, but in conversations with therapists, I resonate with that term.
I think, yeah, that's where I first heard it as well. It was, I don't know if he was a therapist or he's a licensed clinical social worker. I don't know if that's therapy or not. I was social worked. I went to social work.
You work socially?
Found it very helpful.
It is a very, it's a very helpful, if you're vulnerable enough to take that step into not just like sitting there like, I have an hour, like this is going to be, I'm not going to, yeah. Usually that's how it starts.
How? Like reserved?
Like, for me, like when I started going to therapy, it was just like, this isn't going to help. Like, I'm just going to sit here and she's going to ask me how I feel about things. But then it was almost, for me, more of a place to...
Yeah, keep playing. It looks like Miles is having some fun with monster trucks. But if he wants a turn, you give it to him, okay?
Henry, wait for the wave to go past before you... Yeah. So wait for the wave, and then as soon as it goes past, jump on to that, now go. Now wait right there. Okay, now wait for the next one to come by, and then
We are tag
as
teaming
soon as it gets past you,
Astrobot.
there, go.
Excellent opportunity for a
go,
wide angle here.
Go. Get there. Perfect. Good job.
Nice. 2 lives left to spare.
It's gonna look at Miles' eye after the water ball hit him in the face.
We are never going to get into Ridgefield. It's rated E, I swear.
Here's some headbutt. Awesome. What were we talking about? Social work?
Imposter syndrome, being social worked.
Oh.
Therapy. That's
Yeah.
where I'd heard that
Mhm.
imposter syndrome. I don't think it was the first time I'd ever heard it, but once I heard it in the context and the feelings that I was experiencing and I was talking with this dude about, it made sense. Nice. That's higher education. I just always resonated with the definition of it, and it's like the idea that I'm experiencing it, not all the time, but I have experienced it a lot in my life, or I believe I have, and the fact that it seems to be very common, and it's like you feel so alone in experiencing imposter syndrome. And then one of the things that you read is like how common it is.
Yeah.
But nobody ever really talks about it because it's kind of hard to, I guess you have to admit that like, oh, I don't feel like I'm the man for this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm the guy for this job.
That's a very, in our culture, a very, it's not a strong position to feel like that. I don't feel like that's what we're taught to like, as men, is like.
Did you hear that? Did you hear my burp?
No. But
Next road.
we're not taught to like it's and maybe it's changing in the generations, but still, even for me, it's like I have like even if I'm not the correct person, I have to be to get this particular thing done. I mean, I feel like that. I felt like that really, and I mean, in a lot. Honestly, maybe it's a little more common for me because I'm doing this separate thing from the career. Like I have the second career from the career that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and so I get in times where I am, I get really like in my head, really second guessing myself as opposed to just being like, no, like I have the education, I have the training, I know what I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it, but then I get into the actual situation and it's like the words leave me, or like I say something and I'm like, well, that's probably not the most. I mean, you kind of experienced it earlier when I was talking to you about just real estate in general. It's like I have to check in with someone to make sure that I'm doing the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I need external validation that I'm.
You had a situation that you've only been doing real estate for a year, right at a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, compared to the guy that you texted for advice, how long has that person been doing real estate?
Probably, I think 12 years.
12 years, right? So 12 times the experiences you got. So it's fair to say that you assessed the situation and you said that I have not done this nearly as much as this person.
Right.
I want a second opinion
Right.
on what I'm thinking or believing about the situation. That's like exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
But the fact that you make that call makes it seem in your own brain like you believe that maybe I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But like fear of doing the wrong thing and getting counsel to ensure that you do the right thing is the right thing.
Yeah.
To do.
That's fair.
But you have to believe that it's the right thing.
It's almost like, yeah.
So imposter syndrome, if I remember correctly, the guy that I was going to see was telling me that it's not a clinical diagnosis. I might have to look this up. It's not like a mental health condition that you can go take medicine for.
Right.
Imposter syndrome is a belief.
Hmm.
You genuinely believe that in a given circumstance you are not prepared or capable of doing whatever's set forth in front of you. It happens a lot happens more in higher level individuals, doctors, lawyers, people with a higher education. Seems like that happens a lot. Just high achievers, really hard workers, I guess, because I don't know. I don't know exactly why it happens so much. It made me think of the song. I don't know who sings it, but there's a song, "The harder I work, the luckier I get." Have you heard
I've never heard that song. I've heard the saying before.
There's a guy who sang a song, and I think he said that. Maybe that's wrong. I don't have my phone. I would look it up. But that saying, in and of itself, is kind of imposter syndrome.
Mm.
The harder I work, the luckier I get. So no matter how hard you work, you always attribute your success to something else, luck. You want a snack? Oh. What are you gonna get him? Thunder Goddess. You guys got to be quiet.
Thomas Jefferson?
He didn't sing the song.
No, but he's quoted with coining the phrase, "I am a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it." And then there was Samuel Goldwyn, who is a film mogul, who is widely credited with the exact phrase, "The harder I work, the luckier I get."
Wasn't there a country song? Dude, if I just made that up, I'm canceling the whole show. Returning all this gear.
The American Aquarium is the only person that I can see that is attributed to.
Well, it's a saying. Country singer didn't say it or sing it.
These guys might be country. I'm not sure yet. I'm checking. Continue.
There is a beep going on over here. I'm going to fix that. Sounds country. That's definitely the tune that I was thinking of. What is that?
This is the American Aquarium.
I think that would get me. I think that's going to get the audio kicked off of YouTube. All right.
No.
I think if you play that clip on YouTube, I think they'll take the audio.
I don't
off.
think so.
We'll see.
I don't think so. I don't think that there's. I don't think there's enough of it to.
Yeah, it's not like anybody's going to watch this anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to have 0 views. Can't have any audio.
That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the basis of the name. It's just like that this whole thing is just fake. I'm just faking it. This is like it's a hobby. I don't deserve to call myself a podcaster.
Yeah.
I don't deserve to call myself a host. This is just
What do you deserve to call yourself?
I don't know. Nothing. Barely. I barely qualify as a father.
That's not true.
I'm trying. I try.
And you're present.
Oh, dude, I'm distracted a lot.
Just like the great South African rock band Seether says. Fake it.
from South Africa?
Yeah.
Dude, they rock pretty hard.
Yeah. It's
I know that song specifically. That's a great divorced dad song.
Oh, Divorced Dad Rock.
That's great. Hey, do you see mommy down there? Is
She asleep?
are they sleeping? Is Phoebe sleeping? I'm just gonna let that interaction slide a little.
It's probably fine.
Yeah. So my phone is the camera.
Mhm.
Is one of the cameras. So I can't really use it to look stuff up. Also, I want to be more present.
Mhm.
But I need answers to stuff like who the heck sang The Harder I Work, the Luckier I Get.
American Aquarium.
American
In
Aquarium.
2020, that song was released.
Really?
That's what it
That looked
says.
like such an old video.
I think that was grayscale. Great.
I think that was the style.
Yeah.
They did it on purpose. Where did I hear that song? I feel like I heard it on Ted Lasso or something. Is that on Ted Lasso?
Look that up for me.
Jamie, pull that up. There's a lot of really interesting things I can do with this box if I figure out how to do it. I could have a little computer here and then like have one of these buttons set up for like a picture-in-picture mode to where it actually looks at the computer and can show a screen. Oh no. He's going to turn our camera. The wide view is going to go.
I'm not seeing that on Ted Lasso.
Nah.
It's kind of cold up here.
70 degrees, according to the thermostat. You want to crank it? Turn off the flow? Corgi blanket will work.
I'm good. I'm good. Now.
Strategically placed there.
Good now. I think I was out in the sun. No, not. I think I may got a little.
Yeah.
A little
Oh, you're that high-o. Got you laxed.
I could take a nap. I really could.
I've been trying to forego naps lately. You don't have time for naps, do you?
No.
In your day to
God,
day.
no.
Yeah.
No.
How rude of me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I often have time for naps, and naps have really effed up. Maybe I shouldn't say effed. God, he's never gonna get into Ridgefield. Naps can mess my day up, dude. It seems like I get out of work and I just want to. If I get out of work early, which happens to me, I'm blessed to say.
Must be nice.
It is.
Some of us work.
The harder I work, look here, I get.
How dare you go to school for 4 years and then go to school for another 3 years to get your.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it got. I don't know if it's just burnout or what, but if I get out of work at like 12, like my body would tell me the only thing that you want to do right now is take a nap. It could be sunny and 75, beautiful day. Go to the park, do whatever. Go to the gym, run some errands. But no, my body's like, you need to lay down, take a nap. Yep. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And then I wake up and I wake up and an hour of my day is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now like behind all the stuff I could have done is now like I have to crunch it or I have to eliminate some of it, and then I'm like depressed because I didn't do what I wanted to get done.
So you're an hour and like. I feel like I feel worse if I only snap for an hour.
Yeah,
I think mine is just general fatigue. Is what I think it is. Like, 'cause like it doesn't matter if I go to bed at 9 o'clock or midnight. I wake up and I feel the exact same.
I don't think it's switching.
It may not be. And that's
Now
okay.
it does.
Nope,
Yeah,
I gotta get closer to the mic and talk.
You just had some applesauce, bub.
There's 3 applesauce tops there.
It makes me wonder how many times it didn't switch to you, and it's like you're talking and the camera's just like
He's like-
focused on me. Like, yeah.
Probably gotta get closer. No, I feel like he's almost it would be better for me to just like lay down and sleep for like 3-4 hours.
Every day, or just like you need one of those to catch up.
So there is no catching up on sleep.
I read that.
It's a misconception. Like tonight it's 4 o'clock right now. Get Miles home, get everything ready. Haley gets home at 7:15. Have him in bed by 8. And I could fall asleep at 9, and I woke feel the exact same as I did when I woke up this morning. I went to bed at midnight last night.
Oh, so you're saying that whether you go to bed at 9 or midnight, you still feel like you're not rested.
Trash.
I wonder why that is.
I think, like I said, just general fatigue, burnout, burning the candle at both ends, the grind. I can throw a bunch of cliche answers at you. I don't know if I ever, because of everything that's going on, the stress of working 2 jobs and being a dad and being present and also wanting to try to work out and all of these things. I don't think I actually rest at night. I think I go to sleep, but my body doesn't fully turn off.
Is it hard for you to fall asleep? Does it take a while?
It can, not always.
Seems like lately I've been falling asleep pretty quickly. My sleep has not been... I've not had as much sleep as I'd like. I think I would like to have another 30 to 45 minutes of sleep per day, but honestly, just a lot of it's my fault. I want to scroll on YouTube. I want to watch the end of this murder documentary, whatever. Don't want to lay down. Henry wants to go to sleep most nights at like 8:30, but he won't let me just like tuck him in and bail. I gotta like lay down in there with him for a while, and then I end up falling asleep with him. I'm like,
yeah,
which is good. It's good that we have that right now, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of blessed in the sleep department, considering I have a baby in the house waking up. We're pretty dialed in on sleep, but could be a little bit better. It has been better in the past. In your situation, you're working a lot.
Yeah,
you're doing a lot.
It's a lot of hours.
Yeah. It may not be maybe different. Like, what's it gonna be like if you don't have to go?
What?
I got Spider-Man 2.
You got a Spider-Man what?
I got Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man do? Oh, you have Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, the Monster Jam Spider-Man.
You also have that Spider-Man.
Monster Jam Spider-Man.
I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna look like. What the daily rhythm of that is gonna look like.
I was gonna make an adjustment, but I forgot what it was. Probably didn't need to make it.
I don't know what that's gonna look like. I mean,
to me, like
I won't have to. So one of 2 things can happen. One, well, there's probably multiple options, but one of 2 things that I see happening is right now. About 6:30 is when he gets up.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be nice.
I've been waking him up trying closer to 6, especially on mornings. I get up at 5 and go run.
Yeah.
Go run for 30, 45 minutes, come back, shower, wake him up at 6. And that seems to set up our day better because he's awake for longer before we leave for school. He'll eat maybe a little bit better. we're very into the TV right now, and so that's been kind of a hard adjustment at night and in the mornings, because the first thing he wants to do is watch something. Like, he'll wake up and say, "I want to watch something."
Same thing in our house.
Yeah.
First thing he wants to do.
And it's easy because I can just turn the TV on, give him his breakfast, and go finish getting ready, get him
Yeah.
ready,
Definitely.
and then roll out.
And then, well, the alternative is not for us. It's easy to say, yeah, turn on your shows. To say no is exponentially harder. It's not just like he'll say no and then now he's tugging on your shirt the whole time. It just wants to be in my business. There's a fit involved that you have to parent.
Yeah.
Right. So now I have to like parent extra hard and still get ready. And I get it. There are times when I don't feel like being a parent, and it's like I'm ashamed of that a lot.
Like right now, I guarantee I could lay on the floor and fall asleep in like 2 minutes, even with all the noise going on.
I don't know if I could do that. I just said my sleep is pretty dialed in. So,
Yeah.
Again, bragging a lot, I guess. Sorry. But, yeah, I can't fall asleep
Miles?
in front of the TV.
Where you going? Pause. Where we going?
Parenting break. We're going to parent. Dude, I look so chunky. Camera adds 10 pounds on top of all the pounds that I've added to myself. Like,
I mean,
I see why Joe Rogan works out all the time. If you're going to be on screen that much,
yeah,
you got to look jacked.
bro, try being in front of a TV camera that is like specifically dialed in and like not an iPhone camera. Makes you feel bad about yourself.
Come on, man. I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, so I am curious. You have a journalism background.
Yes.
Am I not doing journalism right here? Keeping a journal?
I think the term journalism is, I don't know if it's changed. I mean, you're keeping a journal, yes.
That's all there is to it.
That's
Come on. Journal.
But I think you're journaling, you're not doing journalism.
Okay, so how were you taught to journalize?
It's a great question. I guess it's just like, okay, you can sit on the couch with Henry.
You can pull that black chair out, that black beanbag chair. That's called the Big Joe. Big black beanbag chair. Big black beanbag. BBB. BBBBC.
Okay, you gonna sit by me? Half a squat. Well, that's okay. You don't need to see.
Well, in regards to journalism, take me back to when you decided journalism is the way to go. When was it like, I want to do this?
2023, I started college. I was in between undecided and athletic training for a while.
You started college, but you were a college athlete.
Right.
That was before 2023.
2013.
I'm sorry. Okay, you said 2023. Gotcha.
My bad.
That's what I
Yeah,
heard. My bad.
2013.
2013.
Daddy's talking. Yeah, 2013 was in between undecided and athletic training for a while.
I wish that was easier. I don't know.
Well, I probably should talk into the microphone. That might help. And was in athletic training, I guess, technically first. Was told that I didn't have to take a lot of prerequisite classes because I would take those. I could take those when I get into like sophomore, junior, senior year, and I could sprinkle those in with the harder classes to make them easy. The advisor that I had at the time didn't know what they were talking about. It was at the student advising center. Didn't have like a department advisor. And so my first semester was not taking all of the prerequisite classes required.
You were not taking all the prerequisite classes.
Like, I
required
didn't
for
do-
the athletic training.
Yeah. So I didn't do like, I mean, I think I had anatomy. I was not a very good student. Let's also put that out there.
I was not either in
So-
2013.
So there was a lot of classes that I could have taken, a lot of prerequisite classes that would have set me up for success in the future. But during that first year, the athletic training major was turned into a master's program.
Okay.
And so the sophomores, the people that were in those higher level classes were grandfathered into the Bachelor of Athletic Training. My class would be the first of masters, and I was like, well, I don't want to like do that.
Yeah, because then that extends the length of the program.
Exactly. So
And the cost.
I went undecided and was undecided for a while. I had to make a decision. So I was taking, I think I was like, oh, like sports. Like, that's a way I can be around sports. But again, didn't advise or didn't get into or have an advisor that was knowledgeable. And so needed to take more like sports broadcasting, sports journalism classes. Instead, I took more just general media classes.
Okay.
And so took a semester off of college in 2016.
What is a general media class?
Just like it was like not copywriting, but it was basically like, I'm trying to think of the name of the class.
Henry. Give Miles turn. Another parenting break. So a general media class.
Like, it was
is
like I guess like media law or long, like communications, like basic comm or intro to comm.
Do you learn about like the FCC and
Yeah, all of those things.
regulations?
Yeah.
So copyright stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
Is
like-
that maybe why when I mentioned that YouTube was going to take that down?
No, I just don't think that we're going to be big enough for it.
That has nothing to do with my education. That's just, I think you're being silly.
Yeah, I don't know, and I can't remember all of the classes I took. But basically, I took a semester off and came back, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so I went to an advisor and I said, "Find me the shortest path to graduation." So that's why I have
So your advisor found the shortest path to graduation.
because I was going to go back and do teaching, and I would not graduate until 2023 is when I would have graduated.
Henry, let him do it. Come on, bud.
Henry,
Well, maybe
he doesn't know how to play.
Set him up with an easier one. That's not setting him up with an easier one. Go to a different level. I'm going to trust that you're going to do that. And then give him the controller. I don't know why I'm talking to the microphone. I'm supposed to be talking to Henry. Sorry.
Anyway, I said find me the shortest path to graduation because I was going to do teaching, and it was going to add like another, because you have to have, your all of your education classes that you have to take, your
Right.
math for teachers and all of these things. And so I didn't want to do that.
So it kind of became I guess I'm going to do journalism.
Yeah, essentially, because I was going to teach and coach. That was my fallback. It was always going to be my fallback, and then I got too far into this. So yeah, I finished out 2017 as I came back. The summer of 2017. Yes, and then we got engaged in May of 2018. Married in November of 2018.
So you had a job. You were working in journalism.
Yes,
So what was your job?
I was a multimedia journalist.
What does that mean?
I would do
For and who did you work for?
WEAU in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Okay, so that would that be the equivalent of you working for KAIT?
So same parent company, higher market. So the DMA,
What's the DMA?
it comes out by Nielsen. What is that? What does DMA stand for? Basically, it's something designated market area. I
Okay.
think.
Let him have it.
Yeah, so it's a proprietary geographical region defined by Nielsen, which is a designated market areas. So it's 1 to 172, I think. Region 8, K8, whatever, is like 164th, I think. And it's like the 164th biggest market in the U.S. I guess technically is how they
Okay.
rank that. It's like New York 1, Boston 2, Chicago, L.A., Dallas. Like it's those. Like they'd be like the biggest one. Eau Claire was 128th, I think. So 40 markets bigger than K8.
Okay.
My degree is it's creative media production with an emphasis in sports media.
Okay. Creative media production.
Right. Because here's also the thing: as I wanted to do broadcast, they have broadcast journalism classes.
Okay.
It's no longer a thing, but there used to be a broadcast journalism degree where you would do like, they had like a Good Morning A Stage like show and things like that. I found actually on YouTube the other day a video of a sports talk show that we did. I guess in 2018. It's ridiculous. It looks terrible. Also, some of the quotes on there are like, "Wow, I can't believe you said that." But, yeah. So knew I was going to graduate. Didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to work. So I just fired off a whole bunch of applications to, really anywhere. I think I set my market as like 120 or higher, and or 120 or lower, and essentially applied to the markets because I didn't think that I was good enough to go to a higher market because I had zero experience. So I had a friend who his grandparents lived in Eau Claire. He said, "It's great. You should apply there." So I did. And then we moved in July of 2019.
So you got your degree from A State.
Yes.
And then moved up to Eau Claire.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like working for the news station?
Trying to say this without. It's exactly how you think it would be.
I have no idea. I think it okay.
So
I guess it
coming
would depend on the job itself.
coming from so I got into it at a weird time. So I'm not really sure if my experience was like everyone else's. I feel like it may be more of the time. I still have a lot of friends from those 2 years that I was there that are still in television. But I also know some people that got out almost immediately.
Well, it was kind of you, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
18 months
We'll get
is
there.
my official what I worked. But I moved up in June of 2019. New city. My wife got a job at Mayo Clinic, which was a super great opportunity for her.
Yeah.
It's a satellite campus, so it wasn't in Rochester, Minnesota, but they were a level 2 trauma center, and the level 2 trauma center, they were doing LVADs, and I don't think they were maybe they weren't doing transplants, but they were doing a lot of innovative There's some research that was done.
LVADs are big. If you're an RN doing LVADs, you're most likely
Yeah.
You're reaching the top of
Yeah. So they had
patients.
they had a lot. They had ECMO.
Yeah.
All of the things.
I had never done ECMO. I think I had one LVAD in my RN experience. Done- There's a lot of people that crave that stuff as from the RN perspective.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I want to have the sickest patient. But
So she got I mean, it was a great experience. She worked in an ICU up there, and so it was great experience. But we got up there, and I think the first didn't really know a whole lot of people. I found a gym community that was great, so that's how I made friends. It was through there.
yeah, you got kind of jacked.
Yeah, it was kind of jacked. Probably should hit them up, see if I get some of their workouts again. But anyway, so working through it and realizing very quickly that a small town Missouri boy in a very raised Republican in a very non-Republican field.
The whole field.
The whole field.
The whole field's blue.
That term liberal media always kind of set me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of made me cringe. But after working in it, I can kind of see why there may be people that think like that. For example, I had during COVID, which June, we had till April of 2020. So 10 months, 8 months, something like that of just no COVID, and then it was COVID for
Okay.
So that I worked through the election of 2020.
A lot of work to be done there, especially in Wisconsin, right? Isn't that a battleground state?
Yeah. And it was not as bad as, or not, Jonesboro's not as bad, but it was a blue city in a red state.
Okay.
So blue city in a red area. So, for example, I have had stories changed to, and I don't know if it's to fit a narrative or maybe it was just trying to make it sound a certain way.
Your stories were changed?
Personally story, yeah, that I have written.
Okay. Bring me through the process of you writing a story.
Okay,
Do
so,
you get an assignment or
so we would have morning meetings and say, hey, what are the events going on today? Does anybody have a story idea, anything set up? And so what we would have to do is basically have 3 or 4 different ideas, if possible, of like, hey, I'm going to go to a gas station and see if I can get, gas is $4 a gallon. See if I can get people's reactions, like, are they traveling for the holidays or, whatever. So really just any event, or sometimes people reach out, and then sometimes it would be like, I don't have a story idea, so I would call a local police department and be like, hey, is there anything interesting going on? Is there anything interesting? Is there anything that you want people to know? Went to a lot of like local businesses I feel like I was honestly sometimes did more promotional stuff. So, wasn't supposed to, not really the job, but.
what do you mean promotional?
Like I would talk to a business and that would almost be like, hey, we've got this event going on. Like, tell me about this event. You know what I mean?
Like you would go to a business that has an event that's about to go on.
Yeah.
And you're okay. So you're
Yeah.
like advertising.
Yeah.
For them.
Almost advertising, but just really just trying to tell me, I don't know. I did some cool things. But I always said that.
So how many people were in these meetings?
You'd have a couple producers, news manager, which he's like an office manager, news director would be there, and then we'd have your reporters.
How many? What were you? What was your title?
I was a reporter.
You were a reporter. You were a news reporter.
Yeah, and I did a little bit of anchoring, a little bit later on, but.
Well, that sounds like you kind of made it pretty far in the short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to, I feel like I was fairly good at reading, being an anchor. There's some background stuff that is really not that hard, but I made it a lot more difficult than it needed to be. just because I had terrible time management skills, which it's funny because you have to be very organized, very time management oriented in these because you go out 8 o'clock, you start making calls, 8, 9 o'clock, you start making calls. Then you're going out, you're shooting video, you're interviewing people. Then you come back, then you write your copy, you edit all the video that you shot, you edit it. You depends on if you're going to be on screen talking or if you're going to be a package, which would be a package is like.
So did you have like a cameraman that you work with?
Sometimes.
Like if you have this idea, it's 7 a.m, you're in your meeting, like I want to go to this place. I need 2 camera guys. I need this. You just get whatever you needed and go.
Probably wouldn't have 2 camera guys. We're not big enough for a market with that. I would take 1 camera guy sometimes, or
so
sometimes
there's just a camera guy sitting on the wall, just like waiting.
Yeah, they had so it's we had to kind of coordinate with them. So sometimes they would, like, the producers would pull stories from, there's this thing going on, it's quick, like,
When
hey,
you say pull a story, you would mean like the story was
so sometimes
queued to go on air, but because an event occurred.
no. So sometimes
Pull it.
it'd be like Region 8. Sometimes they will do some national news.
Okay.
And it's like
Yeah.
what they're doing is somebody is posting that somewhere. We would do a lot, like our stuff would go to like Madison or Milwaukee or things like that. So we would write this story and they'd be like, oh, that's interesting. We're going to use this in our story. Or I can use it in our newscast.
Okay.
And so there would be some times where an event would be going on or something, and the camera people would go shoot that. Their job was to strictly just shoot and edit video.
Was there in your, like I imagine in your meeting, was there like a head honcho, like the biggest reporter there? Was there like
No, it's not. That's not.
the guy who gets it all, the guy who's been there the longest, the guy who's like, I'm gonna take this one. This is a good story.
Not really.
We're giving it to Chet. I feel like his name would be Chet.
No, Bob.
It was Bob.
It wasn't Bob. Bob Gallagher was one of the anchors there.
Oh, great anchor name, Bob Gallagher. Chet Gallagher would have been good too. Just
It may have actually been Gallagher. Maybe it wasn't Gallagher.
significantly
Gallagher.
worse.
Bob Gallagher.
No offense to any Gallaghers.
But Bob was great. He had been there for a while. Did sports, did news anchoring. He was great. He didn't do a lot of reporting at the time. He would do, if something came up, yeah, he might. But no, there wasn't like a lead reporter.
So you felt like you were among the reporters,
Yeah,
even though you had less experience. You were kind of equally.
We'll go get it. It's downstairs, right?
Go get water upstairs.
Should I check on that?
Don't wake up your sister. I don't even know if she's still sleeping. Kaylee would have texted me by now if there was a problem. I'm actually very happy that we've been able to talk for an hour.
Has that really been?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to remember, and this is something I want a lot of people to remember, is that when you're watching the 5, 6, 10 o'clock news, and you're like, wow, that person looks really young. They are. I was old for the reporter group of mine. I was 24.
That was old?
You got to think. You start school at 18.
Yeah.
Right? High school or college at 18. So 19, 20, 21.
So they're a new grad out there.
21,
trying to make a name for
22-year-old.
themselves.
Yeah. I used to tell people, like, I'm just trying to make it to Friday night, which was a lie because my off days were Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday, but because I was a weekend reporter. But yeah, like I was old because I was 24 and married, and there was a lot of single, you pack up your life and you move across, the country. It's people from Ohio and Boston and things like that. So you had people from Arkansas, I guess. So we get out, we get there, and it's like we all don't know what we're doing. I mean, it's a market that way is a high turnover rate. Every couple of years, somebody will take what they've done. They've put in a nice little pretty package, and they send it to somebody, and like, oh, that person could help our newscast, and then they get hired over here, or they get hired over there. Like I had a buddy that he was doing weather, went from Eau Claire to Indianapolis, from Indianapolis to Boston. So
Eau Claire, Indianapolis. So once you get to Boston, that's like the big leagues of.
yeah, so Indianapolis is like I think the top 25 market. Little Rock is top 50 market. Memphis is top 50 market.
Okay.
So that New Orleans was so whenever I was looking, because I still wanted to do that for, I would say up until probably about summer of 2020, I was like, I still want to do this. I was looking, where can I go? Is it going to be better somewhere else? And eventually decided not to do it. But
Is there a lot of reporters like these younger reporters? Not that you weren't young. I guess. Well, it sounds like it was a stepping stone type of thing.
Right.
Right. Was that
Right.
in your mind?
Yeah.
So
That was never the end goal.
what was your next step?
So, like I said, I was looking at New Orleans, Clearwater, Florida, Sarasota, Florida.
Were you really? I guess maybe in that industry, would it be difficult to like say like I'm going to Boston, I'm getting Boston, or it's just
Would
like,
have to be exceptional, and it's kind of like anything, but maybe more so is as you find your own style. Every reporter's a little bit different. That's still the same setup, but everyone's got a little bit different flair. There had been stories of people going from a high market to a low market, or a low market to a high market, or however you want to.
I guess
High number to a low number market, just based on their skill.
I guess it might seem like you in that market or in that field, you might just go where the wind takes you.
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you send out your application. I guess I'm going to Cincinnati. Or I
Yeah,
guess I'm
so
going
like, we'll back it up a little bit. So I applied three places that I really had a shot at was Bend, Oregon, Grand Junction, Colorado, and Eau Claire.
Okay.
I didn't really apply east of the Mississippi. I don't really know why. I feel like maybe there's higher markets or like lower number markets out there.
out west. Do you think there's more lower number markets? So
Yeah. So, or like in the east, there's you've got your New York, Boston, Chicago. Like you've got all of these, and there are other Nashvilles and things like that. But I think that I don't know. Maybe I just thought I was, like I said, I was 120 or higher. That's where I applied. I probably could look at the market and be like, oh, I could have applied here, I could apply there. But anyway, so spring break we drove from.
I'm not sure where Miles went.
Henry, where's Miles?
Henry. Dude.
Henry,
I saw him go out.
can you go see where he's at?
Pause the game. Go find Miles. Dude, he was locked in.
Yeah, we probably should go here soon.
You don't have to. But
Yeah,
you got to do you. I get it.
he's probably. Hopefully he's not pooping. Hopefully he's not asleep.
No. There's a bed up there. Should we investigate?
Pause. Yeah.
Parenting pause. I don't know if there's a solid way I could just pause the stream. There's a cut button. I don't know if I should hit that. Cut. Ugh. Well, hopefully that's going okay. I'm glad that I talked to Denton about journalism. Seemed like it took me I don't know, probably seemed like it took me half an hour, 30 minutes before I even just got comfortable talking about something that wasn't the podcast or just getting comfortable. I think the kids being up here also makes it a little harder to settle in. I'm going to have to edit this part. This is starting to get long. I really want to hit that cut button because I feel like it's just going to do what I want it to do, but I'm not sure. All right. I'm just gonna leave it run.
Can I talk on the microphones with you now?
Well, not yet. Hang on. Where's Mr. Denton and Miles?
Miles had to go potty, so he's helping Miles go potty.
Okay. So yeah, we can talk for a second. But hey, when Mr. Denton comes back, I want you to give him the microphones back.
Okay. Whoa.
All right. Hey,
Whoa.
you're playing a lot of Astrobot. It's not even 500, so you got lucky today.
Yeah. But can I still probably play it?
Yeah, you can. You need to let Miles play. Okay? I don't remember seeing the backpack up here. Might be downstairs. What do you need? Yeah. When Mr. Denton and I are done, we'll go downstairs. Okay.
All right, where was I at?
Oh, where were you at?
Oh, so yeah, I remember. So Bend, Grand Junction, or Eau Claire. And so on spring break, a lot of people were going to Panama City and on the beach. Haley and I packed up and we drove to Eau Claire. For
Different vibe.
well, actually, spring break it was one weekend. We took a long weekend. I didn't go to class on Friday, or maybe Monday. One of the days, maybe it was a Thursday. We drove up. I don't. It was a long weekend, and we drove to Eau Claire. So we left. I was in like a pair of like running pants and a t-shirt, and we got up there, and it was like -8.
Ugh.
It's very cold. So I interviewed, did well on the way back. I got a call basically saying I got the job. But I also they wanted me to come to Bend, or try to either that or like interview over over a Skype call basically. But it was 36 hours from Jonesboro by car.
It's a long
That's
way.
a long drive. And then Grand Junction would have been like 18, I think. Actually, after Grand Junction was probably my number 2. I really liked Bend. Honestly, Eau Claire was, I guess there was probably any combination of those 3 at different times were the different rankings. But I really wanted to go to Bend, but I can't imagine how 2020 would have gone if I was in Bend, Oregon.
Even bluer.
Even a deeper, almost a purple, I would say.
Such a COVID was crazy because it was how politicized it was.
Yeah, and so we did that. So worked through, like I said, COVID, worked through the election, and then I think the day after the election was my last day at the TV station.
Well, we've talked a little bit about this before, and how, in a relatively short period of time, you realized that was not for you.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons. Was there anything about it that you were like, this was awesome? Like, what was
man,
one of
dude,
some of the best days?
I mean, I got to see and do a lot of cool things. I met a lot of really cool people. Anchoring was cool. Being the guy, the news anchor, which was pretty cool. It was not like Anchorman at all, at all. But I got to do some really cool stories. Like I went to a mud fest, got to ride in a monster truck. Like that was a cool story. I did a story of these kids who were like nationally recognized wheelchair soccer players.
Wheelchair footballers.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's a kids with spina bifida or a variety of rare genetic or rare diseases that they weren't able to compete in a not a normal is not the word I'm looking for, but in a they weren't able to compete in the ways that other kids were able to. So
Sure.
they created it's a wheelchair soccer team, and they set it up and they played in like a basketball gym with specialized scooters or like specialized wheelchairs, and it was super interesting. Like these
it's like your job to find this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to go into the world and find what's interesting.
Yeah.
But
and a lot
does the curiosity like get stale? Like, because
It
it's
can.
your job to find interesting stuff. Do you things that otherwise would be fascinating just become boring to you because it's another story? You're like,
No,
"Ah, I just
because
gotta get this."
there's always the human element of it. Like there's always somebody's always got something to say about it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's so yeah. If I'm going out and shooting like, the XYZ company had employee outing and they but like if you go
It sounds very boring. How
Yeah.
you just put that.
Like, yeah. Or the Dow was down 200 points. And it's
The
just like
Dow.
I could take a nap. But there's always the Mudfest one is one I really bring up. It's literally, it was during COVID, and it was not a social distance activity, but it was literally like, if you've ever been mudding, I mean, you're from southern Missouri, you know.
I understand mudding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
we
don't
have-
understand it, but
I understand the concept of it. I know what you mean.
you drive,
We have trucks gone wild
yeah.
in Poplar Bluff.
Yeah. So you drive your truck through the mud.
That's just like to get you in the door.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't. People were killed. People were killed at trucks gone wild.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there was some story. I was working at the hospital in the ICU. And at Poplar Bluff Regional, everyone talks about Bricks Weekend because nobody wants to work on that weekend because there's always injuries that come in. I think there was a homicide that occurred. I'll have to look this up.
Oh, so like it wasn't like the truck didn't flip and people drowned.
That happens too, and a lot of people actual vehicle accidents, people rolling over, broken arms, stuff like that. But like there was. Oh, it's 5:00, almost 5:00.
4:45.
Oh, what phone is that on?
What does that mean?
It's whenever Henry can play his PlayStation. Yeah, but I think there was a homicide that occurred. And if it wasn't a homicide, it was like somebody severely disfigured somebody or disabled them permanently. Some story about there's kids there and everyone's drinking and driving. Again, I haven't been there personally to witness this, but this is just kind of the hearsay, is that it's a very wild, I mean, this truck's gone wild, but it's a very sketchy environment. And I think there was a story of a kid who had gotten smacked by somebody that was not their father, and either their mother or their father came in and physically disabled that person. I don't know if they beat them to death or something like that, but I have to look that story up. Somebody who worked in the ER in Poplar Bluff would know that story.
So this was, I mean, it wasn't quite as big a scale as that, but there was definitely some drinking and things like that. But like that was, I was like, oh, like people do that back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so it was kind of, I mean, I've got to interview some really cool people, met some kind of cool people. It was a situation where, and really what really drove it to, like, the bad for me outweighed the good. Now, some people, like I said, still do it. They still love it. But I've always used the analogy, if I could do a story about how a firefighter saved 9 puppies from a burning building, and someone would say, well, why didn't he save the 10th one? And it's like, you're only focusing like on the negative. So I would come home, and Facebook comments and Instagram comments it's a terrible place to live. But I would just rereading that and be like, these people are idiots. Like, 9 puppies were saved from a burning building, and you're worried about, like,
Yeah.
and so
Somebody's always got something to say.
just the negativity, the toxicity was not a good environment to work in. I was cornered at a gas station one time.
You were cornered?
So I was pumping up the station car, and at a gas station, and a woman walked out. And for context, in Wisconsin, you can buy beer 7 days a week. So I think this was on a Sunday. And I was filling up the station car, and I heard someone say, "There's that old rotten news," and I thought it was an older lady. Like, I was like, "Oh, haha," like, yeah. And she's like, "No, you're what's wrong with you're everything that's wrong in the world."
Oh.
And I said, "Lady, I'm just trying to make it to Friday night." Is literally what I said. And she got to a point where, like, she walked to the front of the car, and so I'm pumping the gas, driver's side door, like I'm in the passenger, and she's standing at the front of the car, like, got her arms full of beer, which, whatever. But for a split second, I was like, how am I going to neutralize this woman who's like making it like
Yeah.
like derogatory comments towards me, talking about like, I think she said, I wish you all would just go die or something. And I'm like, I'm 24, 25 years old. Like, it's COVID. And so I was like, am I going to fling the door open and then spray her with gas? Do I spray with gas and then spring? Like, how am I going to get this woman off of me? And finally she walked away. And like that, I think that was the moment that I was like, this is not for me. So, like I said,
Yeah, you had a lot of non-fans. A lot
lot of fans though. Like people, being a male, it's a little bit less toxic place. I've had friends that have had, men make comments about them or their bodies or things like that, and so it's like people are disgusting, just as a generality.
Unfortunately,
and so like, like that's part of the toxic. Nobody ever said anything like that to me, but I had stories change to be a different context. Wrote a story during COVID of a retailer that was doing 90% more online business than they were, right? Because they couldn't really have anybody in the store.
Okay. Which makes sense for
Right.
COVID, right?
And so
had kind of adopt those strategies.
Right. And so I wrote like a local company is managing because they're seeing a 90% increase in their business, and this like sales are down. Like I think it was sales are down overall. Like one company, like though COVID is causing a financial hardship for many businesses, one company is managing based on 90% increased sales online or does something like that. And wrote it, was happy with the copy, edited it, feeling good, got into the story and was looking over everything, and it said a local company or a local business is experiencing an economic boom.
That's what the edit was?
That's what the edit was an economic boom during COVID when it was financial hardship, but surviving based on, more.
Yeah, local.
Yeah, sales this way.
Local business survives through creativity and
Yeah.
adaptation.
And so it was kind of like that. It was that like, okay, like
perseverance.
And it was like, economic boom. And I was like, I came out and I was like, that's not the story. Like that's
not what, okay.
And so
I feel like that would be
when that
really
happened,
hard.
Yeah, and I was livid, and I came home and I was like, this is not.
So did you have to get in front of a camera and read that story?
Yeah, and like I said,
as it was changed.
That isn't open.
No, it's an hourglass. We turn it over and we use it to measure time.
Turn it over.
Yeah, you can watch the sand fall through.
Also, is that chalk? Where are you drawing with chalk at?
There's a chalkboard downstairs. That's all copacetic. That's all good.
Okay.
But just don't draw on the walls or anything up here.
Yeah, go draw on the chalkboard, and our timer's getting ready to go off. Okay.
Yeah, timer's getting ready to go off. I hear Phoebe downstairs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm listening to your story. I'm really glad that we started talking about this. But, I got Henry locked into the video game. Phoebe's crying downstairs, and I have to go back into dad mode. So, the last 15 minutes, it seems like I've been feeling like trying to, I want to do it all.
Yeah.
And it's kind of taken me out of the element of what I want here.
Sorry.
I would really love to experience, I love my son, love my wife, love my daughter. I would like to experience one of these with a little bit more privacy. It sounds so selfish. Such a horrible person. But I would like to stay locked in a little bit harder. Because, I want to ask all these questions. And instead, I'm thinking about, you're talking, you're telling me this, and I'm thinking about, oh, God, my wife wants me downstairs. And she does. You do. You do want me downstairs.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about you. I am. This has been an hour and a half. That includes probably about 5 minutes of just blank time where I didn't know if I could pause it.
Yeah.
There's a cut button on here, but I was afraid to push it. I need to figure out what it does first. It would be nice to just pause the recording and then pick it back up. I think if I hit stop, it's just going to save it as a separate recording, which maybe, it probably wouldn't be too hard to merge those together. But I think
be good.
I'm not ashamed of anything I said.
No.
No, is this good? This is a good first upload.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna
Good.
put it on YouTube.
Might as well.
Well, actually, I don't know if I can. It's an hour and a half. I might have to do something creative.
Well, we didn't really talk about anything at the beginning. It was just kind of
I'd mentioned that while you were helping Miles, I was just monologuing and saying like it took me like half an hour just to get kind of like comfortable and settled in
Yeah.
before like I asked you about being a journalist, and I was like, oh, now we could talk about something,
Yeah.
right? So that was,
it was good.
I don't know, maybe that'll get better over time.
I'm sure it will. This has been Imposter Syndrome with Jake Rathbone.
I think that's the name. I kind of like it.
It works.
I'm just not sure if it's like good enough. You know, it's kind of in the name.
Stop the episode. This is great.
It's over. All right. Thank you. Nobody's watching this anyway.